What is up, guys? It is your boy Damnboy, back with another video. Today I want to talk about Fury DPS rotations for both Alliance and Horde. I want to show you what PvE macros I use. And the reason I'm doing this video is because a lot of people has been requesting this kind of video, even though I know it's late in the game to make this sort of video. I thought it was a good thing to get it out there because it's been requested quite a few times now. If you like this sort of content, warrior content that is, for a WoW Classic, make sure to hit that sub button down below. A like and a comment would also be greatly appreciated. If you'd like to chat with me even further, I'm always available on Twitch on Wednesdays, Thursdays and Sundays from 7 PM to 11 PM plus 2 GMT Copenhagen time. Let's get into it. So I've made a dual Fury rotation on classicwowbuilds.com. I will link it down in the description below, of course, so you can always go and check it out if you need to be reminded of something. We are going to start out with the Alliance. So this is not as much a rotation, it is more a priority rotation, which means you have 3 certain abilities, for instance, for a single target, where you have Bloodthirst as your first priority, Whirlwind as second priority, and you can use Heroic Strike to dump rage. So if Bloodthirst is coming off cooldown, you do not want to use Heroic Strike. You want to make sure you have enough rage to cast your Bloodthirst. You never want to delay Bloodthirst or Whirlwind. The rule of thumb is that if you have plus 30 rage and there is around 2 to 3 seconds for your next Bloodthirst or Whirlwind coming off cooldown, you can use your Heroic Strike. Otherwise, save it and make sure you don't delay Bloodthirst and Whirlwind. As for multiple targets, the rotation changes a little bit, of course, because you want to use Whirlwind as your first priority because it hits 4 targets. Then you want to use Bloodthirst, and then you want to dump rage with Cleave. So the rule of thumb is the same here. If there's 2 to 3 seconds till your next Whirlwind or Bloodthirst and you got plus 30 rage, you can use your Cleave. Otherwise, save it and use your 2 first priority spells, whichever is coming off cooldown first. At 20% and below, you're obviously gonna spam execute, but when you reach a certain attack power threshold and your gear is good enough, automatically these two comes together, of course. If you have more than 2000 attack power, using Bloodthirst is equal to the same damage as an execute at 30 rage. This applies to every fight except Veil, of course, because at Veil in Black Malaria you're gonna have tons of rage, so you just want to spam execute. But in normal boss fights, you want to prioritize Bloodthirst if you have more than 2000 attack power. And the better gear you get, obviously Bloodthirst is going to be doing even more damage because you're going to have even more attack power. If you'd like to see the link for this, you can see the formula here. At 30 rage, your execute is going to do 900 damage. At 30 rage, which is the cost of Bloodthirst, and you have 2000 attack power, Bloodthirst is also going to do 900 damage. So the more attack power you get, obviously the more damage it's going to do. As for Hordes, it gets a little bit more complicated because they have Wind Fury, and by using Hamstring, they can get more Wind Fury procs, because when you do Hamstring, it gives you another opportunity to get this Wind Fury proc. So the priority list is going to look the same, with the Hamstring added in the end. So Bloodthirst, Whirlwind, Heroic Strike when you have more than 30 rage, and there's 2 to 3 seconds till your next Bloodthirst or Whirlwind. And if you have plus 40 rage instead of plus 30, you can do a Hamstring as well. But of course this only applies when you have a Shaman in your party and you're getting Wind Fury. The most important part is to not delay your Bloodthirst or Wind Fury spells. As for multiple targets, The rotation is again the same with hamstring added. Whirlwind, Bloodthirst, then cleave, then hamstring. Rule of thumb is the same as on single target. If there is 2 to 3 seconds till your next Whirlwind or Bloodthirst, use cleave. If you have plus 40 rage, you can weave in a hamstring as well. As for execute range at 20% HP or below, you're going to be doing the exact same as Alliance Warriors. Execute spam, and if you have above the 2000 attack power threshold, you want to use Bloodthirst over execute whenever it's off cooldown. And again, you can check the link if you are interested in more information on this. So moving on to macros. First, I want to show you a smart little weakaura I got down here, which shows my current attack power at all times, which you can use to do these Bloodthirsts when you have above 2000 attack power in execute phase. I will post the link for this weakaura in the description down below, but this is really helpful to show you whenever you are above 2000 attack power. Let's get into the macros. We're gonna go through the essential ones. To start out with, we're gonna look at Bloodthirst. This is a long bandit. Show tooltip Bloodthirst, so it shows the right tooltip when you're looking at it. Start attack, this is something you want to add to all your rotation abilities. Then cast Bloodthirst. And then for the min-maxers, you want to add some cancel auras, especially Bloodthirst here. Whenever you use Bloodthirst, you get this buff. And when you click it again, it's going to remove it instantly. So that way you do not lose a buff cap slot by having this in your macro, which is really brilliant. The other ones you can add if you want to, but if you have the weakaura that already removes these buffs, it's not necessary. I just have it just in case. The next macro we're going to look at is Heroic Strike. Show tooltip, Heroic Strike, start attack, like mentioned in all our abilities. Cast Heroic Strike, and stop casting. Stop casting is only if you want to really be great with your rage. So if you're going below 30 rage and you don't have enough rage for your Bloodthirst, you can click Heroic Strike again after you've queued it, and it's going to stop this queue. I would probably not advise it for the normal people playing, to just chill and stuff, but if you're min-maxing, this is a good thing to do. And at the end we have cancel our Bloodthirst again, just in case we have not clicked Bloodthirst enough to click our debuff away. The third ability is going to be Whirlwind. Whirlwind, show tooltip Whirlwind, start attack, cast Berserker stance, so that way when we just click it once, it's going to swap to Berserker stance and use the ability if you have enough rage. Cast Whirlwind, of course, and again I've added cancel our Bloodthirst, again like Heroic Strike, just to make sure we get that buff off, so we do not lose any world buffs when speedrunning and such. As for the fourth spell, Cleave. It is pretty simple. Show tooltip Cleave, start attack, cast Cleave. Pretty straightforward. And the last macro we're going to look at for hordes is the hamstring one. It is very straightforward as well. Show tooltip, start attack, and cast hamstring. Let's not forget execute and recklessness. For execute, it's pretty straightforward. You want to do show tooltip, execute, start attack, and cast execute. Nothing different about this one. For recklessness though, since you have to swap stances, I think it's very nice to have show tooltip recklessness, cast Berserker stance, just in case you are in battle stance for some reason, or defensive stance, and then cast recklessness. So you just click it once and it pops. Of course I was in Berserker stance when popping this, but you get my drift. Also for charge, we have a stance changing macro as well. Show tooltip charge, start attack, cast battle stance, and cast charge, obviously. So pretty straightforward. And the same goes for intercept, where we have cast Berserker stance and cast intercept when in combat. These are very nice to have and are very dope to have because it just makes your life easier. The last one we're gonna have a look at is Pummel. The final and last stance changing macro. Show tooltip Pummel, start attack, cast Berserker stance, and cast Pummel. I will be posting all my macros down in the description below, so you can just copy and paste them right into your WoW character to make it easier for you. If you have any questions or the like, feel free to throw me a comment down below. A like and a sub would also be greatly appreciated if you want to see more of this kind of warrior content. I do also stream on Twitch Wednesday, Thursday, and Sunday from 7 PM till 11 PM. +2 GMT, Denmark time. I hope you enjoyed, and as always, have a damn great day.